if you ended up, on your parents' accounts, or maybe you are already paying for the, what is it, $27 that Netflix is up to nowadays, at least there was a decent little show out called Tires. It's just so short. Did you guys catch this one?
Yeah, I actually caught all 6 episodes of this.
Did you like it?
I had a pretty good time with it. Yeah. Um, it's interesting. This is Shane Gillis's I believe self-funded and self-created
Bruh.
show.
Yes. That's how it got renewed.
Exactly. Yeah. So Netflix, being in the Shane Gillis business, feels like a good fit for it. I mean, obviously they have a huge platform for comedy, and he's developed into like one of the bigger stand-up draws in the country. And he has this kind of reputation that I think he sort of plays with in this show a bit too, because it is a bit crass. It is a bit like, for lack of a better term and using an overused term, but like not always PC. Like they have some jokes that sort of push buttons and push lines and stuff like that, but never in a way that I found to be too abrasive, never in a way that made me feel like I was being fed hate. It's more just like hanging out with kind of like dude bros in a sense that, like, I've gotten that vibe from shows just sort of like a real every guy quality to the way that the characters speak, to the types of interactions. I've already seen people posting like my least favorite jokes and talking about how great they are, but I think it does a pretty good job at kind of giving you this sort of very.
You're still breaking in. Zach's glitching out a little bit. Let's see if he comes in a little bit. I know he had mentioned the show. I'm going to ask him what the show was.
Way that, like, it felt like we were missing a sitcom about teachers for
I think he's talking about Abbott. He's saying Abbott's a really good show.
Teachers. Yeah, I finished the season. I don't want to cut him off now because he's clearly still talking.
Zach, try to refresh. I think it's just the internet thing. The Atlas. Josh said the Atlas AI came for you, bro. Nick Rudo said he's starting a GoFundMe right now for your internet. Hold on, say something.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Am I back?
There you go.
Yeah, you're back. Yeah.
All right.
You were comparing this to another show.
Yeah, so the way that setting the show in an Autobot.
No.
Abbott is great though. Abbott is great. I just finished the season as well.
It just wrapped, right?
Yeah. Just finished it earlier today. Great season. Just 14 episodes, I guess. Shorter.
Yeah, they had to cut it down after they were being able to do the 20s. But I'm curious your thoughts if you catch this one, because I do want to wait for Zach to come back, because I agree with that point he was making about Shane Gillis specifically kind of being the harbinger of like stuff that's not considered a little too raunchy, but he does it in a way where you at least take it as comedy. I think there's a lot of other actors in this that I know Zach isn't too keen to. But because it's Shane Gillis at the forefront, I think he's able to like take a lot of those jokes and not see it as like something that's more undercutting. I think he's coming back in. We got him back.
Hey, I'm back.
We talked to JLo, the analyst, and we were able to fix it up.
Yeah, Smith had that Neuralink connection for the three of us.
Perfect.
We're all linked in now.
All right. If I can circle back to the point that I was attempting to make before my internet and the AI started coming after me. Damn you, Simu Liu. I was saying that the way that, like, it felt like we were missing a sitcom about teachers and schools for years before Abbott Elementary came around.
Yep.
the idea of setting a sitcom in an auto body shop is so smart. Like this place that I feel like most of us have had some interaction with, and it's got this whole world to it that you can dive into. I think it's a show that has a lot of potential. Like I lament a lot on this podcast the absence of workplace hangout sitcoms, and when you get like a good group of performers together and a good idea, I feel like it's the kind of thing that I could spend seasons hanging out with. So only 6 episodes, but I felt like they went by in a breeze. I had a good time watching the show.
I think bringing up Abbott's a good point, because just like that's kind of in the shadows, it came out of The Office, right? And it takes a lot from The Office. I think this has a similar thing where you have a character who's probably an even bigger loser than what Michael Scott was. He's like an idiot who's trying to pitch as much things as possible to fix this auto shop. His dad runs the place, but everything that he does, it just gets worse and worse. He sucks at work. He's terrible in his regular life. Everything just is always falling apart for him. But there's something in that where, as cringy as it gets, it all gets tied up at the end of each episode. And a lot of that comes from the cast. You were mentioning how Shane Gillis in particular is able to bring in a lot of jokes that, are pushing the envelope. I wouldn't even say that they're that raunchy, but he gets away with them because of the way he delivers them, right? I know there's some other comedians in this that you're not the most keen on. Those comedians tend to say a lot of jokes that, like you were saying, people then go online and they focus on the worst part of it. I'm like, I don't know what you found funny in that joke, but I think it was for the wrong reasons.
Right. Exactly. There's a lot of stuff like that makes me like a little bit nervous, but I think ultimately like the jokes are good. That's what makes me want to keep with it. I do think it's a little bit like ridiculous that he brought back his like shitty racist Asian guy accent, but at the same time he's doing it under the auspicions that his character is an asshole. So I guess it's not like trying to be portrayed as a good thing. I don't know if you were referring to Stavros Halkias. I kind of like Stavros.
Hell no, I know you like Stavros. Yeah, no, he's
the only
chill.
guy I know from the cast here.
No, bro, dude, he's ridiculous. Every scene he's eating, there is a running bit with him where he has a new snack, but the vending machine is broken. That scene was hysterical.
Yeah.
Did it make you a fan of Andrew Schultz?
Oh, Andrew. Yeah. I mean, no, but like it didn't make me hate him either. He's fine.
But this is what I'm saying. Shane is able to do what Andrew can't. What I'm trying to think of the other guy too, because they all do like the same podcast. You end up seeing them all throughout. There's another Tim Dillon, right?
Yeah.
Someone who really plays into the bit so much. Shane is like right in the middle of that, where you don't see him doing the jokes to make the subject the butt of it. It's more the situational comedy of it. There's a beginning bit that he has where he's talking about Chrysler 300s and menthols. I'm like, bruh. Obviously, some people would gravitate towards the end of that joke with the extra guy that they have in there.
Right.
But I thought he was able to deliver the comedy pretty well. I agree with what Zach said. It's having the situational bits be in a very just like I don't want to call it the lowest, but like just your average job that you can have of being a mechanic that's not just worried about its own place, but like the entire chain might go down at any moment. It's got this Bob's Burger feel of it, where every single episode is them just trying to come up with an idea or they're all going to lose their jobs.
There's a scrappy quality to it.
And it's beautiful. And I love how it bleeds into the series itself, because it got renewed before it even premiered for a second season. So whatever idea that marketing idea they're trying to get in tires of flipping tires for cheap to be able to upsell, I think he did that in real life. He got all his comedian friends. Every actor that comes in here has done stand-up in some form or another. And I think it delivers. It's very short. We finished it before even realizing it. I thought we had 2 more episodes. So
yeah, it's basically a feature length.
Yeah, good point.
And maybe it could have been in a different world, but
maybe
I'd be down to spend another season hanging out in this world. So yeah,
sounds dope.
Tires
Over on Netflix.